Hi everyone, this is Tanya the Lady Strange. Welcome to another weekly collective reading for the week starting today, October 26th of 2025 to the week ending in November 1st, 2025. This is the week of Samhain, of Halloween, as you may know it, a time of magic, a time for witches, a time of honoring our ancestors, and of course the thinning veil, and getting ready to welcome or usher in, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere like myself, and me being pointedly in central New York State, the change of seasons as we go into the darker seasons of the year, and as time and nature transitions, just as we transition to different phases and seasons of our life. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome. So this is a little different for me this week. I don't feel like being on camera. I do not have a downward facing camera or tripod yet. Eventually, this is my channel, so it is what it is. As you will see, since it's Halloween themed, I decided to do and burn my lusty Bloody Kisses candle that is from Witch City Wicks in Salem, my favorite candle company from Salem, Massachusetts. They've been featured and mentioned in many of my previous videos. And of course, it's an ode and homage to my favorite band, Type O Negative. If you know, you know. And the scent is beautiful. It smells like crisp Macintosh apples. Everything that is lusty and beautiful. And with that being said, I already pulled cards for this. I'm going to make this a bit shorter just because it is what it is. You do see my fun, campy cutting board. Place your sacrifice here. I thought it would be fun and appropriate for Halloween and the time of year. If that's not your cup of tea, well, or cup of wine, well, it is what it is. I am, after all, the Lady Strange, and I am also a left-hand path practitioner. So, as you'll see, I pulled four cards, should I say. A central one from the three black moons you'll see, and a companion from the Witch's Tarot, both by Burning Paper Hearts Chris Madsen. He has another deck coming out in a couple months. They are beautiful photography and altered images that evoke magic and witchcraft and the divine feminine, other than a few images of himself. And then I pulled from the Witch's Tarot, the Sabbath Tarot, which is by the Sabbath Project by Alan Spears and his partner Jeff Cullen. It is also a photography deck altered. Both have male. Both decks of these sorts have male and female presented nudity. I will be covering up one of the cards I've already pulled just because it shows full frontal male parts. Nothing wrong with that, especially since it's a gorgeous deck that evokes witchcraft, magic, the left-hand path, and the dark, but also lusts, beauty, and honors the male form, just as does the other deck. And the clarifying oracle last card will be from, no surprise, the the Haunted Manor Oracle. I cannot think, so this one I can't remember. So you'll see this week's crystal, real quick, is Smokey Quartz. It's just what felt right, and this is the particular one I keep with the Witch's Tarot. It is her companion. Smokey Quartz this week is carrying a message of be mindful that despite wanting to welcome in our ancestors or connect, not all spiritual energies are beneficial, but not all are harmful. To keep in a rooted, grounded perspective as we go into a new season phase of this week that will carry us forward and through. Smoky Quartz is also very magical, which ties into this message. So it is being mindful to stay rooted, protected, and keeping your feet on the ground while you're connected to the magic of change and transformation and transition, and having a wonderful, empowered, effective week as best as we can in our ever-changing human life experience. And that's that little ghost here, Black Magic Ghosty. Yes, I'm a goofball. So, yeah. So if you make it this far or you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that's how I roll. So the first card is going to be Central as an Oracle card. This is the center and was very appropriate when I pulled it. And that is Magic. So very appropriate for this week, especially if you're a practitioner of any sorts, but also if you're not, but you're watching this, you must be some type of interested into magic, occult, or divination, or a collector at least, or just supporting. Either case is, I appreciate you watching, but the message of magic. So it is not only the magic you can wield, but the magic you hold within yourself in your life experiences. Even with this week will be just as many, like the human life experience is very difficult. What magic can you bring to your experience and to those around you? Magic is about creation. It's about intention. Words of action, steps of action, big and small, to bring into the fruition. But what magic can you create to bring a solid foundation this week and into this next phases of transition? Everything is interlinked and interwoven. Using your resources, using your wisdom and experiences are magic in themselves. Seeing the changes of nature and the crispness of leaves, the change in temperature, the change in our environments, but in our resources, however, bringing those into a different perspective and using those to alter our reality to what works for us and what helps to keep us with a grounded, rooted stability like that smoky quartz. So what magic can you create for yourself and others in various forms, or magic you may be able to create just by being? Those little and big steps. Embrace your magic. Embrace your essence and your truth. And embrace that connection with the world and your experience. That's what the magic is saying to me. But if you're a practitioner, wield what the energy is in your environment and around. Remember whom you are. Remember what you contribute. Know thyself and know thy power. So the companion, I'm going to just put here because of course it shows let's say penis, you'll see, but it will cover it, is the ghost, which fell. Sorry about that. That's all over the place, but it is what it is. It's more about the message and not about that. I'm just going to cover up that part here, but you can see the rest of the card is still amazing. The ghost is just covering up, hopefully, well, most of it. There we go. That's a bit better. Sorry about this being all over the place, but it is what it is. So the message here is the Eight of Vessels, or the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is, cups are the suit of water, of emotions, perceptions, also perspective, also deep intuition, the emotion, the tides of emotions and energy, and also relationship and relativity. So this is saying, though, with the Eight of Cups, as you can see, continue to hold your power. Like you see, he has his staff there. And you see the sun in the background, the night sun, so to say, the eclipse. So it is saying to continue on your journey this week and overall of what you have been moving through and forward. It's not about the destination as much as it's about the journey, the experiences, the wisdom, and relationships we create. But what can we also continue to let go? There are certain things that are definitely not serving this collective this week and has not been, but perhaps you really do need to let go of those thoughts and feelings and energies and those old relationships and maybe even possessions that are not serving you. It is part of this collective has a highly magical spiritual energy. Again, whether or not you are a practitioner of any sort, or a witch, a magician, or even a cultist, it still is. Magic is life and experience. Continue to see how you can connect and move forward on your quest for enlightenment, truth, relationship and honoring yourself. Again, it's just saying the Eight of Cups to me today is saying more about remembering whom you are and knowing your boundaries and what's right for you in your relationships and what you're cultivating, but also on how you can progress forward and look at things from a different side of perspective. Yeah, okay, this is all in place. Next is from the Witch's Tarot is the Hermit. Now the Hermit is talking about enlightenment. I love this. This is one of my favorite Hermit cards ever. It does have the Aquarius head. She does. So basically, with that being said, is turn to yourself and your inner magic as part of this, knowing that the journey you have and the foundations you have laid will serve you this week and continue to going forward. There is a sense needed of silent knowing, following your inner truth, and connecting with maybe the seen or the unseen, but knowing this. And not taking a week of being forceful action, but embracing the change in the seasons, and potentially, just like the Eight of Cups is saying, and the Hermit together are saying, following your inner knowing, being silent and knowing when to speak and when not to speak, but to be mindful on protecting your emotions, and whether or not you are an extrovert or introvert, be mindful of your energy, be mindful of how everything ties into the journey and your spiritual essence, no matter what that may be this week. Continue to create magic. Again, the magic of knowing yourself and knowing your journey, and that you are on the right path, no matter what that may be, and finding the magic in life. And continue to move forward. And again, just connect with yourself, your ancestors, and the world around you, but with a silent knowing, and follow that guide or guidance, whatever guides you and drives you, and makes you feel at home in yourself and your experience. And the last card this week is going to be, and this is the advice or message for this week, and that is going to be Carriage from the Haunted Manor Oracle by Syrian Shadows. This is an out of print deck, the others are not. Is put your worries behind you. So that's very appropriate, as you can see. That goes with the message of the Eight of Cups. So release any worries that you have. Be certain, like that Hermit, of following your inner guidance, that lamp or lantern, or what your star is, or North Star. I can't talk. Nothing unusual there. And your knowing, and what is truly you and what you are truly continuing to create. Know that you are doing the best you can, and the magic you bring to this world and to the experience of not just yourself but others. So again, I hope you all have a great Halloween or Samhain, no matter how you practice. Enjoy the Halloween candy. Enjoy the connection of the change of seasons, the world around us, the life around us, and show up for yourself and others the best way you can. And remember, you are a magic being. We all have a bit of a magician and a witch in us, so to say. And with that, move through, forward, and release what needs to be, and let your worries go, because you're doing the hard work and have been, and you know your truth, you know your experience, and this collective has magic. And with that, stay strange.